You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right, this is Jessie. How you doing out there today? You know I miss you when we're not talking. Come on, you gotta buy that by now, folks. Come on, you just do. It's a fact. Sorry I missed a couple of shows last week. Well, if you listen to Conversations in Science, you know I'm not at home. I'm out at an undisclosed location. And that's all we're going to say about that. I do have a life off the air, and, well, something came up and I had to take care of it. So I had to go somewhere that's not home for a few days. I'll be back home in a couple of days. I will do as many broadcasts with you this week as I can work in. So keep the faith. Boy, oh boy, has he finally gone quackers. And if you are a regular listener to this show, you know that's my sound effect for Kim Jong-un. Oh yes, he gets his own special sound effect on this show. What can I say? Has he finally lost it? Well, there's people that say yes, there's people that say no, well, how many people you got, that's about how many opinions we can find. We have discussed him at extreme length on this program. And, oh, you're waiting to hear the show prep? Sorry, I'm doing everything digitally tonight. There's no paper to bang on the keyboard. You're just gonna have to deal. But what I am doing, I am pulling up clips just from the past couple of months about North Korea. And I haven't had to go looking. I've got one new one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm pulling up number 6 right now, and I haven't gone digging. I really haven't. I'm just scrolling through my audio clips going, oh, bing, North Korea, bing, North Korea, bing, North Korea. That's all I'm doing, guys. That's all I'm doing. I like that one. Now, I did skip over 2 to get to this one. But I feel these all, to some extent, bear repeating. I'm sorry, but they do. They bear repeating. Because, well, North Korea is being, well, a thorn in everyone's side. So, first of all, I gotta comment on a couple things. Trump said he would be honored to meet with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Okay, time out. Appropriate for me to meet with him? Maybe. Honored? Honored? I'm sorry.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
No. You're giving him too much credit. Unless The one reason I can validate you saying this, and you guys who regularly listen to my show know I don't do politics. Okay? The one thing I could say as to why he might have said honored, and this is just the very much outsider who doesn't cover politics looking in, is because maybe he was trying to bolster Kim Jong-un's ego so he'd agree, so he decided, maybe we can meet with this guy after all. Okay? That is the one thing I can say about it. Otherwise, have you lost it? No, seriously. Have you lost it? And I'm not in the chat room tonight because, well, I'm not at home and my internet's not quite as strong as it usually is. So, but you can go on over to Spreaker and leave me a comment there. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at Jesse's POV. Oh yes, Jesse's POV. Come on, you guys all know where to find me now. And I have both forms of communication open, and if you're catching this on Memorex, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, podcast.com, Blueberry, Pocket Casts, wherever you happen to have found Jesse's POV, then you can hit me up on email at jessespov@klrnradio.com. Oh, yes, you can. So, alright, North Korea, we know they have some form of nuclear capability because of all their recent tests. What we don't know is how soon can they put that thing on a delivery system. And there's a lot of different moving parts that go into taking something out of the scientific realm and out of the testing stage and into reality. That's just the way it works. It's not one of those things that's done lightly. But, and I've proved this before on air, North Korea and Iran are trading partners. Oh yes. Now, if you think about it for a moment, you're going to go, what, but that was a year ago. Trust me. Trust me. A leopard doesn't change their spots that fast. So, don't you think just because that story was originally published a year ago, it's really changed? No. And I've got to give China props. They have been turning down shipments of coal from North Korea. Yes, they've been holding them down. Now, I'm going to say that North Korea and Iran have a long-standing defensive partnership. And you're going to look at me and go, would you see? Well, here's why. Here's why. First, up until recently, you had the two most ostracized countries in the world. I think that would make it clear and obvious that, hey, these two are obvious partners. They're both ostracized. They're both on the outs. They're both heavily sanctioned. Well, who better to partner with than the other person that's in the same boat you are? Makes sense to me, kids. Now, I have proven to you before about the missile technology. We've gone through each and every rocket and this, that, and the next thing. I'm not doing it again, at least not tonight. Maybe I'll work it up and maybe I'll actually see if I can find somebody who can speak more authoritatively on it than yours truly. But all I can say is, yeah, North Korea is a disaster. North Korea is a disaster looking for a place to happen. And hey, I'm just reading something that caught me off guard. Sorry about that, kids. I'm reading a website that's definitely anti-US. I'm not an anti-Israel. I'm not going to quote it directly. But basically, Israel and North Korea seem to be exchanging words, even though they're nowhere near each other. But that's another story for another day. And the fact that North Korea is on Israel's list of rogue states. How many North Koreans are ever going to see the land of Israel anyway? My point. Enough said. Moving right along. Alright, let's get my show prep pulled up here, folks. Oh yes, I am working. I still have show prep. Come on, you didn't think I was that unprepared, did you? Even pulled together a couple of audio clips, too. Oh yes, I did. I managed to pull a couple off. Now, we'll see. Maybe I'll come up with another one by the end of the show. But anyway. And for those of you just tuning in, if you haven't been keeping up with my recent shows, you know I have yet to announce the 3 recent casualties that the Department of Defense has identified. Which means I will be ending the show on taps. And if you've never heard that, get a tissue on when we go to commercial break for bottom of the hour. I have had several people write me and say they think it's a beautiful, fitting tribute. And I'd like to think so. But our relationship with North Korea is definitely, it's at a crisis point. So Kim Jong-un is thinking he can get away with something. Well, all I gotta say is, I wouldn't push your luck. I really wouldn't. I mean, we still may want a diplomatic solution. I just don't know that North Korea is going to give us the option of having a diplomatic solution. Now, we have the USS Carl Vinson, and I believe it was the USS Michigan, one of our submarines. I believe it was the Michigan, over off South Korea, off the coast. And here's the deal. North Korea got away with sinking a South Korean vessel, the Chosin, a number of years ago. They may think, well, we got away with sinking a South Korean one, let's try an American one. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what they were thinking. Guys, you ain't getting away with that act. I can guarantee you that would be a declared act of war, and I bet you sink one of our military vehicles, and I just about guarantee you that we will have an actual declared war for the first time since World War II in Congress. I don't think any senator would be able to look themselves or their constituents in the eyes and say, sorry, they sunk one of our U.S. Navy vessels, but I just couldn't bring myself to vote for war. They killed hundreds of our sailors, but I just couldn't bring myself to vote for war. Sorry, I don't think that's going to be quite the route they're taking. Now, there is okay. For those of you who are sitting here going, what does this have to do with anything? Let's talk about a little bit more about North Korea. Got about 8 minutes left till bottom of the hour. Alright. Kim Jong-un, you've all seen Quackers. Come on. You've all seen one of the smiling propaganda photos. And maybe you even know the fact that former NBA star Dennis Rodman is a friend of Kim Jong-un. Knows? Oh well. Now, I've already discussed why I think Trump might have said honored, but I'm not sure. And I've got some of those audio clips pulled up. We are definitely coming to a crossroads, and Trump warned of major conflict with North Korea. I've heard this in multiple interviews he's given. I don't have the audio clip, but I do have Secretary of State Rex Tillerson from the United Nations, where he chaired the UN Security Council ministerial on North Korea.
We will not negotiate our way back to the negotiating table with North Korea. We will not reward their violations of past resolutions. We will not reward their bad behavior with talks. We will only engage in talks with North Korea when they exhibit a good faith commitment to abiding by the Security Council resolutions and their past promises to end their nuclear programs. And that is why we must have full and complete compliance by every country to the resolutions that have been enacted by this body in the past. No relaxation in the vigorous implementation of sanctions. And we have called for those sanctions to be extended to other areas as well on a voluntary basis, and we're calling globally for all countries to participate in exerting pressure on North Korea. This is the way you make your voice heard, is through action. Any failure to take action diminishes your vote for these resolutions of the past. It diminishes your vote for future resolutions, and it devalues your seat at this council.
Like I said, Rex Tillerson says basically if you're not going to hold North Korea accountable now, when are you? And you're no friend of the U.S., and your seat at this council? Well, we'll see what we think of you later. We'll call somebody else back first. Don't expect us to return your calls anytime soon. So, now, for those of you who aren't aware of this, or do you live under a rock? THAAD missile. THAAD missile defense system. Yes, terminal high altitude area defense is being set up as we speak in South Korea. Now, China's going, no, we don't want it. No. But that's because they say that the radar system will be able to track Chinese missile development. Well, THAAD's activation does add another level of complexity because China doesn't like it. South Korea residents worry that they will be a target for North Korean missiles. And U.S. officials are saying that while THAAD initially capable, it would not be fully operational for a period of months. So, who knows? Of course, then you have the South Korean elections. Who knows who the next president of South Korea is going to be? Let's just hope they're more hawkish than dovish. I'm sorry. Restarting the Kaesong industrial complex right now would be the ultimate sign of weakness. You would be then feeding hard currency into North Korea, smiling and nodding while they're going, we want to build a nuclear weapon to destroy you. If that ain't to beat the band. Now, in addition to the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, or a THAAD system, South Korea does have its own Patriot, this PAC-3 missile defense system, and there are several of our U.S. Patriot batteries stationed there as well. Remember, we have approximately 28,000 U.S. military servicemen and women on the peninsula. Yes, they're there. Not the least of which are in front of them all, the men and women who patrol the DMZ. Now, I know we're coming up on the bottom of the hour. So what we're going to do is we are going to go pay them bills. Yes, we're going to pay those bills. Now, don't forget, you can always follow me on Twitter at Jesse's POV. As Doc reminded everybody, I do have a Facebook page at Jesse's POV, and I do have a website. Now, I'm going to warn you, signing up for anything on my website is probably going to be a waste of time. But I would like to see you run over to KLRNRadio.com and sign up for the station newsletter. That could be interesting. So, alright. On that note, folks, I will see you on the other side.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
All right, thank you for hanging in there with me while we paid them bills. Yes, I am back on the other side, and I got a couple other stories. No offense, kids, I think we have given Mr. Quackers. Yes, I think we've given Quackers more than his fair share. So, with all due respect, Quackers, we are moving right along. You know me, I sniff around and find all kinds of interesting stories. I think somebody's been up to executions. I think Iran's been bad. Bad on the international stage. Oh, yes. A prominent Iranian TV executive and his Kuwaiti business partner were gunned down in the Turkish city of Istanbul late Saturday night. The executive, Saeed Karaman, founder of Gem TV Media Group, Karaman was recently sentenced in absentia, which means he wasn't there for the trial. He wasn't stupid enough to get caught in Iran and arrested. To 6 years in jail in Iran for spreading anti-government propaganda against the Islamic Republic of Iran. Oh, yes. And it said that he left work relatively early that night. He said he was taking his friend out for a night on the city. Armani left his Istanbul office around 8 p.m. with his business partner. The car was cut off by an SUV. Two masked gunmen opened fire on their vehicle. According to Dogan, a Turkish news agency, Karaman was found dead when emergency services arrived on the scene. I'm sorry, guys. That sounds like an execution. It just does. And I wouldn't put it past Iran. Sorry, kids. I can't put much past them, just like I can't put much past quackers. In fact, remember we said they trade? Wonder if they trade mental illnesses back and forth between leaders. That could be an interesting study. Alright. There have been lots of other craziness going on. Let's talk about some more of it. President Erdogan, Turkey, will decide in a referendum whether to continue pursuing membership in the EU. Remember, Turkey was trying to join the EU for a couple years. The EU's been like, well, we'll see, maybe yes, maybe no. You just keep applying, and we'll talk about it. However, there's a couple of changes they'd have to make in order to make that work. No country admitted to the EU has dual citizenship. So that could be interesting. Now, there's also been... Oh, yes. Remember all those May Day protests? I'm sure you've heard about a few of them. Yes, May Day is a time to celebrate workers around the world and the gains made by labor advocates, but it's also a time when police are on high alert. It has gatherings in many cities, and I've got to say that includes us here in the U.S. now, folks. You guys have truly disappointed your show hosts. Well, probably those of you that listen to this show aren't the ones out causing the problems. And Turkey was no exception. Video shows police firing rubber bullets and detaining protesters in Turkey's largest city as demonstrations became violent. At least 165 people have been detained during protests, according to the city's police headquarters. Now, I gotta go here. Whatever happened to the legal process? What happened to guilty before proven innocent, kids? Because this is just getting old. So we go from Erdogan, from an Iranian TV executive being gunned down in Turkey, to the May Day protests, and trust me, there were thousands of people round up the other day. I'm sure some of these names are familiar. To Erdogan wanting to go, can I get in your special club? So who knows where the chaos will turn. Now, of course, there is the usual information available about Mosul. And this has become a very tough battle. And yes, I'm particularly making sure I do this towards the end of the show, since I do have the 3 casualties that I have not yet paid my respects to on this show. Now, I did find something that may give hope, but I'm sorry, I just don't know. An Iraqi commander expects to dislodge Daesh from Mosul in May, despite resistance from militants in the densely populated Old City district. Battle should be completed in a maximum of 3 weeks, the Army's Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Othman al-Ghamani, was quoted as saying by state-run newspaper Al-Sabah on Sunday. The U.S.-led international coalition is, of course, providing air and ground support for the offensive in Mosul, the largest city in northern Iraq, which, if you don't remember, and come on kids, you gotta remember this, fell to Daesh in 2014, and Daesh is Sunni. Most of the rest of the Muslims are Shia. And the hardline group persecuted non-Sunni communities, inflicted harsh punishments on Sunnis who do not abide by its extreme interpretation of Islam. A group of 36 Yazidi survivors has been rescued after 3 years of slavery under Daesh, which is practically amazing. Since Friday, the women and girls from the group have received lodging, clothing, medical, and psychological aid in Dahuk, a Kurdish city in north of Mosul that the UN feels safe enough to have them go there and receive treatment. The UN estimates that approximately 1,500 Yazidi women and girls remain in captivity suffering abuse. So, like I said, this is going to be house to house, street for street, and battle by battle. And when there's more than one mosque in Mosul. Well, part of the Walla Mosque has been converted into an indoor graveyard. Yes, an indoor graveyard. So, it just goes to show that Daesh is running out of places to bury its dead. I mean, we've heard about the tough combat conditions in Mosul. There is nothing new on that. We've said from the beginning this one's going to be a hand-to-hand, street-by-street, block by block. So, there's only so much you can say about it, but now, the U.S.-backed Syrian rebels advance on Daesh stronghold of Raqqa. They have seized the Tabqa Dam. Yes, they have supposedly seized control of the Tabqa Dam. And I am pulling up the article to double-check my facts. Give me just one moment, folks. I saw it and I just mismoused. Okay, the Tabqa Dam is another important strategic prize. Okay, so it's still under Daesh control. However, they are working on retaking it. And why, you ask? Because, well, it's of strategic importance to them. Alright, folks, your host has had a long day, and your host has a lot to do tomorrow. So, just as a reminder, you can find me on Twitter at Jesse's POV, and you can always shoot me an email at the station at jessespov@klrnradio.com. And remember, I promised you we were going out on taps tonight. And for anybody who is tuning in looking for the Stafford Voice in 15 minutes, the Stafford Voice will not be airing tonight due to technical problems beyond Daniel Stafford's control. Don't know what they are. Don't know. You'd have to ask him. Alright, folks, I will see you next time. Now, I will be reading the notification press releases for the 3 recently identified casualties. And then, as you know, I will end the show on taps. You will not hear from me again until next time I'm on the air. The Department of Defense announced on the 28th of April the death of 2 soldiers who were supporting Operation Freedom Sentinel. They died April 27th in Nangarhar Province, Afghanistan, as a result of small arms fire while engaged in dismounted operations. Both soldiers were assigned to 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, Fort Benning, Georgia. Killed were Sergeant Joshua P. Rogers, 22, of Bloomington, Illinois, Sergeant Cameron H. Thomas, 23, of Kettering, Ohio. The Department of Defense announced on the 30th of April the death of a soldier who was supporting Operation Inherent Resolve. First Lieutenant Weston C. Lee, 25, of Bluffton, Georgia, died April 29th in Mosul, Iraq, from injuries while conducting security as part of an advise and assist support to partnered forces. He was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 325th Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division, Fort Bragg, North Carolina.